Click the links for Odysee, chute, coffee, Discord. There was cancer, or send me an email. Channel memberships are up. I guess if you sub to that, I can give you a wrench for a live stream if you care about wrenches in live streams. Some people do. All right, so before I get into this is Ron Mars's resolution. Really swinging for the fences there, buddy. Maybe it's not toxic fans. Maybe it's toxic creators. The creators were toxic this whole time. You know, it's funny that free speech used to be a huge part of comics, and it used to be a part that's something that artists and creators held sacred. Free expression. That all changed. Okay, so then the mop came for Frank Miller. If you have a con and you kick out Frank Miller, then you have a con with a Frank-sized hole in it. I don't care about cancel culture in this specific regard, because this group of nobodies kicked out a somebody. Great. Eventually, you'll be holding the con in your living room, because who is going to be next to fail the purity test? Oh, and people were already talking about that on who's next, and people were openly saying, like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of people we need to get out of the industry. Like, really? Because who's left? Because it seems like you're getting rid of the top guys from when comics was good. Now it's not currently good. Every year, the purity test gets more strict, and the rules for behavior travel backwards in time. And I forget the phrase for that. Ipso post facto or something. We have the concept of laches or statute of limitations for a reason. Things have to be discussed when fresh to be fair to the accused. But I really don't care about this, because if he's failed the purity test, then that means his standard is low enough that you might as well start the con purge now, which is how I think of it, purging the cons. The SJWs are running this popularity contest for cons, except like their crowd, it's the cool kids, they're not in demand. And they're just the most milquetoast, soylent, left-wing people that people are not really paying to go see. You're just going to destroy cons, or let me correct myself. If you kick out the wrong thinkers, eventually they're just going to start their own cons. You guys can have a con in a garage with Mags Visaggio, Joe Glass, and Gail Simone. Knock yourselves out, but very few people are going to be enthusiastic about it. And if this is the new way of the world, where you hold Loser Con Incorporated, maybe that's a good title, I don't think it's going to fly. But if that's the future, then more power to you. Have a soy boy con, and the rest of us will have the wrong thinker con. Guess which one will be better? We'll have liquid refreshments, powdered alkaloids, and ladies of negotiable affection. Every video I upload to YouTube is demonetized instantly. It's like, oh, demonetized. You have to put in for review. I'm like, what am I saying that is such a wrong thing? Oh, you're just on the wrong thinkers list. And really, you're holding cons on the past glory of comics from decades ago, because modern stuff is really, really bad, and the modern creators are really bad also. And if you're going to a con to see like Kelly Sue the Comic, slap yourself. Just be better. So cons are anywhere in my area of People's Republic of California, from like, I don't know, $30 on Sunday, $35 on Sunday, to like $50 on Saturday, which is no small amount of money. And I'm sure the cons of prices are just going to continue to increase. Oh no, the prices aren't going up. Your dollar is just losing value. Thanks, globalist. People are paying to see people. Some people are big names who can sell tickets. And, you know, I think of it like, if you had a Comicsgate con and you got rid of, what's his name, Richard Meyer or Ethan Van Sciver, like, oh, well, it's not really, you know, it's like not quite the same. We want to see everybody there. It's like, if you just don't like these guys, you know, because you think they're fat idiots or something, well, you still invite them. You just don't go to their table. Hey, Richard Meyer, he's a fat idiot. Okay, well, don't go buy his book and don't go get his signature. But you got to understand that there are those of us who like those guys, or like, you know, all these other guys. Like, we want to see everyone at a con, because we're going to go see people in one place. And when you start getting rid of the top of the pyramid, I think you're going to get rid of some of your fan base too. So basically I'm saying, you know, if cons want to just light themselves on fire and burn money, knock yourselves out, eventually we'll come up with a solution. Literally, a Comicsgate con for the wrong thinkers, because there's going to be an increasing amount of wrong thinkers as these purges continue. they're big names, and then they're like the big names sell tickets because $50 is like, oh, I'm gonna go see this guy and he's gonna sign my book, and it's like that's the cost of $50 to me, and I'll enjoy the rest of the con, but it's like this is the stuff I'm gonna go there, and it's like, yeah, I'm planning on buying the guy's books while I'm there. It's just all in one place. It's convenient. It's like, oh, hey, John Del Rose is gonna be at a con. It's like, well, I can buy 3 of his books there. I can have him sign them right then and there. It's like, so I'm going to spend $100 at the con on his stuff and probably some other money on other stuff, and then you get the idea. It's like when you start kicking people out, it's like, oh, you just lost $237. Like, how many times can you afford to do that before you get in trouble? Anyway, let me compare the energy of a Comicsgate live stream to the Drink and Draw stream, which is tough to do because the Drink and Draw guys don't have any energy. Very tough live streams to sit through because they're not allowed to talk about anything. I don't mean to insult them personally, because I know they're cool guys. They're nice guys, normal guys. Like, if they're in private with no cameras, that would be a whole different conversation. But like, I know this isn't them. It's not their fault that they're so freaking boring. They're boring because they're scared. The streams don't have any energy because every opinion has to be the pre-approved one. Even when, like, if a movie comes out and like they don't like it and it's the wrong opinion to have on, like, Star Wars, the 3 Disney trilogies, because that was kind of a left versus right thing. You can't just come out and say, oh yeah, that movie sucked. And they're like, oh, you didn't like a woman in the lead? No, I didn't like that woman. I thought she was stupid. I thought she was fine, but I mean, you get the idea. It's like valid criticism. Oh, I thought Finn was a stupid character. Oh my, how can you say it? It's like, oh, okay, you're saying we can't have any opinion on anything anymore. Yeah, basically that's what they're saying. Anyway, so that's why Drink and Draw sucks balls. Everything has got to be pre-approved opinion, or they're going to get canceled by Twitter, which, Twitter is just the axe. What is that? What's that swinging axe? Who's that guy? Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know why I try to reach for references when I have no chances in hell of getting that reference. The Edgar Allan Poe, and now I forgot the story. The swinging blade thing. That's what Twitter is. It's just a blade that can fall, a guillotine that can fall on anyone's head at any moment as soon as you're a wrong thinker. So, the mob can destroy anyone at any time and render anybody persona non grata, and it's like, well, now you just retired or you joined Comicsgate. There is zero loyalty in comics. It is the worst bunch of people I have ever had the misfortune to interact with. They are frightened people who are terrified of the mob, because all it takes is one bit of wrong think and the mob smells blood. Obviously, the whole country is going through this Marxist revolution. But in cases of these semi-public figures, things are a little bit more difficult because they're using Twitter to sell their stuff, but Twitter is a field full of landmines. Go watch an episode of Drink and Draw. It is horrible. They know the score. Ever since 2016, if you're in the public eye, you need to watch your step. If Gail Simone started a YouTube where she said the wrong things, railed against whatever was not politically popular, or said Biden was an idiot and America should close the doors, she'd be done. Like, I don't know if it would be blacklisted, but it would be like gray listed. Would be like, you just wouldn't get calls back. It's like, okay, well, you just retired, congratulations. Artists used to be fierce defenders of free expression. What happened? Cultural, I'll say, Bolshevism happened. Marxism. Artists, liberals, academics used to be true liberals, i.e. they wanted maximum liberty. They knew that the value of speech was more important than hurt feelings. Because once you give someone the power to censor you, you've just given them the power to do anything they want to you. Because your opposition to it is now hate speech. It wasn't that long ago that we had true liberals. Will the last liberal turn out the light when he leaves? Even the ACLU has been corrupted by globalists. Think about this. The ACLU no longer defends First and Second Amendment cases if it supports right-of-center causes. They only defend left-wing causes now. The American Civil Liberties Union won't defend all Americans. And, it takes stones to defend the First Amendment. And somewhere after 2001, the left decided to take off the mask and make the push into globalism. They know they control the schools and the media. They figured the time was ripe. In a matter of 20 years, they managed to brainwash kids into accepting handing over their rights to ACLU, SPLC, ADL, which the last one is an evil organization that was created to defend L. Franks, a guy who struggled, snuggled, and deleted a child, and then blamed a POC janitor. Seriously, look it up. It's the sickest, most disgusting group you're ever going to come across. Anyway, so Frank Miller is just an example. He's just one variable of what the West is going through. Over 100 years ago, they did the Bolshevik Revolution, and they're doing it again because they were never rooted up. Stuff like Frank Miller is just part of a witch hunt that is happening nationwide. For the comic industry in specific, it doesn't matter. It's deck chairs on the Titanic. I can't imagine that 10 years from now. If they want to screw these guys over, great. Maybe they can take a few dozen scalps, and it seems like they're hunting for more, and sort of retire these guys early, or free them up or force them to join Comicsgate, or sell their stuff on social media. But the industry isn't getting new fans. That goes to Japan or Korea. That was in the news too. If France was giving some funds out to teenagers, and they were buying it spending it on comics, and people on Twitter are like, "Oh, great, they're buying comics." No. In France, comics means American comics. Manga is Japan, and there's like French comics, which have a different word, and Korean comics have a different word. They're not buying American comics. They're buying Japanese, Korean, and French and Belgium comics. American comics don't sell in France, so it's like, why are you celebrating that? That is in industry. It's all Japan and Korea now. If the left-wing SJWs want a safe space echo chamber, go for it. I don't know if you're going to be able to charge $40 for a Comic-Con with just good thinkers in it, because all it takes to get kicked out is a Twitter mob of cat ladies who are mad at the world. They're mad at the father they never had. If you disagree with the mob in any way, you're canceled. Eric Clapton and Van Morrison, I think, dared to say that handing over liberty to the puppet masters perhaps wasn't such a good thing, because the government doesn't have a way of really handing liberty. Like, you can vote your way into things, but you have to use liberty devices to get your way out of them. Anyway, those guys were immediately canceled. Manga is booming. They can't keep it on the shelves. Manga doesn't have diversity, BLT propaganda, or toxic creators. They just have beautiful people doing cool stuff. Kelly C. DeConnick, Ron Mars, Gail Simone, Mark Waid are toxic, vile worm people. Hey, look, sales are up. Manga sales are up, you wanker. Japan is doing great because Japan is an anti-white. Half of America is European people, and Marvel hates European people. It's Marvel, DC. I'm just using Marvel as a stand-in. Dark Horse, Image, all of them. They really, really... Gee, another blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy is the bad guy. Oh, wait, that's in every single comic. Yeah. Gee, why don't people buy our crap? Why would they? You hate them. Manga appeals to everyone because everyone can see themselves in the characters, or maybe just as an escape from toxic American Bolshevik identity politics. Anyway, likes, comments, and subscribes to Odysee, BitChute, Coffee, Discord, whatever. And I will see you guys all next episode. Oh, and you can get a sub on the channel, and you get little icons and whatnot. All right, guys, I will see you all next episode.